meet you. How are you? Are we late?
No, you're not.
Well, no, okay. Oh, Charlie, I'm shy.
It's a standard.
It's your food.
Which you exude such strength that makes you come across like a witch. That's what they were telling her. Great. Please, you can go on.
Yeah, thank you. So when it comes to the political limelight,
it's a killer disease. Poverty is a bad thing. You shouldn't be a brand ambassador for poverty. When you are poor, your family members will look down on you. You become a source of pain and headache. People don't want to hear your voice. When you say something, it is annoyance. And my family rejected me because I was poor. I was a burden, I was a headache. Nobody wanted me. I ended up sleeping in mechanic shops and all of that. I keep saying this, when you say it too much, you sound like a broken record. And I was in that situation. I decided that this is not how I want to live my life. There has to be a way out. And I am the one who decided that this is it. I have to make a way for my sister and my brother. And I did it anyways, with the help of God. So poverty is what pushed me. Auntie Felicia.
They do not want to be seen. So what I mean is, I want you to take from your perspective of, brand, and share with us why it's important, and especially for those who just don't want to be seen. They don't want to be seen, but they want to benefit from, exactly. They want to do business. Then they want to be promoted. They have to pay to the people who are out there.
Yes.
You know, like right now there's social media. You have to take advantage of the sponsored ads and stuff like that. Because if you don't want to be out there, then of course you have to pay someone to, advertise and stuff for you. That's why there are a lot of brand influencers and ambassadors these days. You just find a known person and put their face on or their name on your product, and that's the easiest way to go about things.
Yes.
But if you want to be seen like me, it's not like I want to be seen. It's just that when I started doing my work, I just wanted to survive. And fame was just a byproduct of my work. I didn't go out there seeking for fame. There are people who want the fame. I didn't want it. It just became a byproduct of the work that I was doing. And when I started, there wasn't social media. So I didn't think there was going to be a time where like everyone would get to know me and stuff. I just wanted to have a TV show, just wanted to make money, to pay for my rent and all of that. And I didn't know, like I heard there was going to be Facebook and all of that, and there was going to be delay this and delay that. So these people will be like me, because at the beginning I didn't sign up for the fame, and they do not want the fame. But you can still find people who are known and leverage on their brand and stuff to push your product. So if someone wants to make it and they don't want to be known, they should hire me and pay me so that I advertise for them.
That's okay.
Yeah. Well, so Amma, you have also taken advantage of brand or some
Advantage of the numbers I have on social media. So I am bored right now because of my brand. I've always wanted to go board to see what I would look like, but then I waited till this time to go board because I'm launching like a new product, and I'm also doing a sale soon, and I want to take people along the journey, because when I started 5 years ago, I took people along the journey, but there are new people that have joined now. There are new people. My brand has grown, and now it's hearsay. People can't see those. So that's why I have gone this way, for people to get new clients. So if people aren't even able to see it now, somebody will tell somebody that I'm a cut her hair and this happened. So they will come and buy. So that's what I am doing with brand. But if you want to sell on social media without being known, it's not possible unless you hire somebody, as Delay said. But there's a difference between being popular because of being a social media influencer and being popular by the brand. So there's delay the business owner and there's delay the TV presenter. Your face can be known, but then people wouldn't know you because of you. They'll know you because of your brand. So you can put yourself out there. So if you sell soap, you can do like a face care routine. People's focus will be on the soap, although your face is on there, but then the focus is going to be on the soap because that is what you are talking about. So the brand is going to grow as its own, not being a social media influencer. I don't know if you get it, but then there's a difference between a social media influencer and then being a brand owner. So when you learn the difference, then you can sell your brand without being known for you, but then your brand will be known. Yeah,
I do get it. A lot of women are looking for money for their business. I've read a lot within the venture capital space.
Since we are
And interestingly, I have a very interesting childhood. I grew up in a convent. And I stayed there for some time. I became a nun for 3 years or so. And it was a very small community school. We were around 50. And I was staying in the convent, I wasn't coming home. And then when school reopens, a friend doesn't turn up. And I asked why. Daddy died. What about mommy? Mommy is not working. So at that very tender age, I thought to myself, it's not going to happen to me. I don't understand why all that. And sometimes I ask myself, why should it happen to us? I've always been an advocacy for women. And that started a dream. After school, I really wanted to go into food processing just because of the women. And seeing the perishable item that they were, it really sinks my heart. So that's when I started. I started from a kitchen table in a rented home. I had a big dream. To me, everybody should have a dream. My dream was very big. I wanted to build a conglomerate, food processing. And after 25, 30 years now, I've done that.
Well done, well done. So from a bitter experience of bad publicity to I really don't want to be poor, to now someone who sold food in a convert and wanted it processed, would want to have a bit of a conversation on technology. I want to come to you. Technology is it's virtually like mathematics for a lot of women. And when it even comes to women in business, it's
Being able to use technology to further your business and also to make life easier for you as a business leader is also very key. Because as women, we have multiple challenges, right? You don't have enough time, your husband is on your back, your kids are on your back, you have to deal with the real world, the real life. And one of the things technology allows you to do is have more time. You're able to be more efficient. And if you ask my team, I can sit here and I'll talk about AI, robotics, but that's not really technology, right? When I hear my sis, Dele, talking about her brand and how she brought it to the forefront, she did it using technology. Me, I followed Dele. Even before we were kind of friends, I followed Dele. We are friends, no problem. I followed Dele, and she used her brand and she used technology to amplify what she was doing. So it's not every day we're going to talk about AI and robotics. Using mobile money to deliver your services and collect your revenue is technology. Using your phone, some data, social media is technology. So what it enables you to do is
Once you've got those small things, it doesn't matter where you are. You can be a boss. You can be an entrepreneur. If you're in Tamale and you want to go and sell shea butter in the UK, you can do it. Today you can do it from where you are. You don't have to come to Accra. You don't need expensive technology. So I feel like sometimes we have to make the conversation about technology a bit more relatable. Today, I can talk to you about cloud technology. You will look at me, I'll look at you, you'll look at me, and some of you might even clap. But you'll leave here and you'll be like, Angela was slanging and I didn't hear the cloud technology. But at least if I'm talking to you about Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, using the right data packages, you will be able to get it. And then small, I'll come and speak to you about, okay guys, how can we make you bigger? But we have to start from somewhere. So that's what I love about technology, is because it's open to anybody. I can see the girls there. You might be doing something, you might be having a small side hustle. Your side hustle doesn't have to have everything. But you can start small, and then eventually you'll grow. And as you grow, we'll support you to do that. So that's my philosophy when it comes to technology. It's not about cloud, it's not about AI, it's not about robotics. We'll get there eventually. It's really about the small things.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You noticed that I talked to the entrepreneurs and then I talked to the enabler, and now I'm going to talk to you and then top it off.
Or an opportunity, they want their independence. They can organize people and resources to form a company, add value to the company, employ more people, add value to their products, trade, distribute, export, import, process. It's such a powerful thing of transformation, right? SMEs, entrepreneurship, how you made it. But I think it's the possibility of taking whatever you have around you and turning that into value for yourself, for your family, for your community, for your nation, right? So I think that's the power of entrepreneurship. And so I wouldn't call myself a typical finance person, but I find myself in venture capital and private equity. We all know the interest rate situation in Ghana is crazy. Some women are paying 40% interest rates in the rural areas just to get some working capital for their little farming business or agri-processing business. So it's really tough for women. You know, the people who are making the decision about your loan in the bank, they're typically guys who don't really understand even your business model, right? So there's a lot to be done to lay some foundations around how we approach women in business, how we aggregate some of our talents. I think we work too much alone and in silos. You go to an entrepreneur's place, their house is full of boxes and imported inputs, and it's like one person with a tiny business spending so much money locked up in things, right? But you can start small. Delay mentioned, one container. Auntie Felicia mentioned how she started. I think we need to be able to identify the resources available in your communities. Ghana Enterprise Agency is there. We have so many hubs across the country. You'd be surprised the business that's established, growing revenue, you're seeing your profits growing, you need to expand. There is such a thing as venture capital and private equity that can be an option to add to the current suite of grants and things like that. But grants are not sustainable either. You can start up with a few bits and pieces of help, but eventually and very quickly as a business, you need to be able to stand, and your revenue will tell you what is up.
Mickey, you've been very instrumental.
Nothing exists in a vacuum, and what law does is it ensures that things are done in a structured manner. So when you look at the law, we're all talking about access to funds for women, and one feature in the law is what it has called gender responsive budgeting. So now for every sector, ministry or agency, because for all of us, our businesses are under a ministry or a sector, even if you're into production, if it's agribusiness, under Ministry of Agriculture. Now they're supposed to have policies and programs that are targeted on making sure that there's access to funding for women in their sector. So what the law is saying is the resources that are there, now make sure you allocate it and give this percentage to women. Prioritize gender projects. That's one thing in it. Another thing is the tax incentives that the law gives to private employers. When you look in section 24 of the Act, it says that if you are compliant, that's the schedules we talked about, if you have at least 30% representation of women at all levels, so from your boardroom down to the least managerial level or even the staff, if you have 30% of women, you get what we call a certificate. Now that certificate then entitles you to tax exemptions. And also the law says that if you are bidding for a government contract, you should be given preference because you have gender parity or gender equality. So that's one good feature in the law. And we all know that for businesses, the bottom line is profits. And for some of them, the concerns, especially when Parliament was, some of the male parliamentarians are like, I have a business. You're saying that should let women go on maternity leave for this long, or they should do this. How do I pay for their replacement and all of that? Or what benefits does it inure to me to hire more women? So that's why you have that tax incentive, component in there. And that's why you have that preference for government contracts so that it will incentivize them in a way. I know it may sound ambitious, but what it gives us, I think, is a leverage that even as women, you can leverage it and tell your business that, do you know you stand to gain this if you hire more women? And I think that's very important. The most important thing for me also that I think the law gives is the protection regime it gives, because it makes it an offense if you are disqualified or you're harassed or you are intimidated on the basis of your gender. One thing we realize is most women are intimidated when they want to even go for access to funds, or sometimes someone will tell you, quid pro quo, bring this before I will give you the funding or I'll give you the opportunity. So now the law makes it an offense. And if as a woman you experience that, you can actually go straight to the police and then it'll be taken to court, where the perpetrator is now going to face a fine or imprisonment of no more than 12 months. So you see that it makes it an offense regime, and I think that's very important for us as women to know that I am protected in this space. In as much as yes, we have the challenges where you have people intimidating you or discriminating against you. Now you know that if it happens, I can seek redress. So for the grievance procedure, you can either go to the Gender Equity Committee, you can go to SHRAJ, you can go to NLC, or most importantly, you can go to the police, or you can just start up a civil suit against the person and actually start a criminal suit against the perpetrator as well. So I think that's very important. And then the last thing it also does is that with the private employers, now every private organization, even the public sector as well, are to have a gender policy. Some of us work in organizations and there's no gender policy. So they are not intentional about creating a safe environment for the women. They are not intentional about, even if you go on maternity leave, other daycare centers close by, other changing rooms. They are not intentional about making sure, if it's even period leave for some women. So now companies, you don't have a choice. You need to have a gender policy. That's what the law is saying, and create a safe environment for women. So I think these are very key highlights of the law that inures benefits to women in entrepreneurship and business.
Thank you very much. I'm coming back to you, taking a look at what are the next steps.